Hey, 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 welcome to Eat Out at Home, the podcast. This is the place for foodies who want to learn how to cook better, eat healthier, dine together, and enjoy some gourmet every day. I'm your host, Chef Evelyn, and on this podcast, I share with you my best chef secrets that I've learned from teaching thousands of people how to cook via online and in-person cooking classes, healthy eating workshops, and from my well-seasoned career in the culinary field. Listen, I've been cooking for over 20 years, so I know my way around the kitchen. If you're ready to spice things up in that department, then just consider me your secret ingredient. So, if you're ready, sit back, relax, grab a snack, and let's dive right in. Hey, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Eat Out at Home, the podcast. And in this episode, I want to share some holiday hosting tips that have helped me over the years. I've been entertaining since I was in high school. I absolutely love to entertain. I love to host people and have people over. And the holiday season is like the Olympics, the World Cup, and the Super Bowl of entertaining. So, if you're hosting this year, if you're entertaining at all, I just want to share some things that have worked for me over the years. And hopefully you can find some little nuggets that you can kind of stick in your hosting, handbag, if you will. And also, make sure to share with me some of your hosting tips that you have learned that work well for you over the years. So in the previous episode, I talked about kind of preparing your kitchen for the holidays if you're hosting. And then also, if you are hosting for the first time, hopefully these tips will be beneficial to you. And I will say this, these are like super practical, nothing super pie in the sky, things that you're like, oh, that totally makes sense, but things that I have to remind myself of every year. And make sure that I have these things in place. So if you're hosting for the holidays, if you have a culture, anything like mine, right? I'm African American, grew up in the Midwest, but from a Southern family and have spent the majority of my adult life in the Southern United States. I would tell you, first and foremost, I have to make sure that I have to-go containers. I have to make sure that I have containers specifically designated for people to take home with them that I'm never going to get back. So I like to order these. I like to order these off of Amazon. I like to order these off of the Webstaurant store. Sometimes I can find certain to-go containers at like Home Goods or things like that. I typically, for the kind of to-go containers that I enjoy, I'm probably not going to get them at like a Target or a regular grocery store. I like to use deli cups. I like to use Chinese takeout boxes and a couple of other things. And I'll link some in the show notes, some different options if you want some to kind of be on theme with your color scheme for hosting. But I like to have those, and I like to have them at the beginning of the season and just have them. And I know if people want to take something home, because I like to cook in excess. Okay. I like for there to be more than enough. I want people to have seconds and thirds while they're here. And I also want people to take things home because I want to cook to my heart's delight. I want to bake as much as I want to bake, but I don't want to eat it all. And I don't want to be eating it for a week after whatever I'm hosting. So plenty of to-go containers. Okay. I know you're like, this is not a super exciting tip, but I'm telling you, it's so beneficial. And I will say this, I also, if I'm feeling really extra fancy, like to get little bags, right? So little just, paper sacks or bags specifically for them to put all their to-go containers in. To-go containers, I'm also getting extra, plastic wrap, aluminum foil, rubber bands, things like that, Ziploc baggies, whatever the case may be, so that people can take all the things home. But I love deli cups, particularly if you have things like gravy or cranberry sauce or soup or things that are liquid. This is perfect for that. Okay. The next thing is, and this could be a personal pet peeve of mine, but I have learned this over the years. So myself personally, I have my water delivered in 5-gallon glass jugs. Okay. I use Mountain Valley spring water. I love it, but that water is an investment in my well-being. Okay. What I have noticed over the years is that not everyone values water and the investment of water as I do. So If you ask them if they want some water, they will not drink a whole glass. Or if you have a bottle of water, they won't drink a whole bottle. So a couple of ways that I've handled this over years is, number one is I will purchase the smallest size water bottle I can find. Typically people get, what is it, like the 12 or 16 ounces. I go all the way down to the little, is it 4-ounce bottles, 8-ounce bottles, the smallest ones. I have found people are more likely to finish those. Okay, if I have those available, and I can just hand it to them, and then I can just recycle the plastic. I know it's a lot of plastic. Or I will buy like that same water, but in gallon size, and put it in a water dispenser or a pitcher, and then have disposable cups around. It just eliminates my frustration of people wasting my expensive water or half drinking water bottles. So, if I'm buying, a couple of gallons of water for $5 or $6, I feel very differently about it if somebody doesn't complete it versus the $40 gallon of $40 gallon of water that I have, or 5 gallon that I've purchased. Right. Also, so that's just something that may not bother you. It sends me into outer space. Then I also like to have, and I typically don't do this, I also like to have disposable cups, plates, and cutlery, not for entertaining, but for before and after. So let's just say something like Thanksgiving, right? This is for me and how I like to entertain. I like to eat my Thanksgiving on real dishes. Okay. I'm typically a real dish kind of host. That's what I love. Real glasses, all that kind of stuff. But in the days leading up to, and even in the days afterwards, these are the times where I am big on disposable plates, cups, bowls, cutlery, all that, because I'm already doing a lot more cooking and dishwashing than usual. And so if I can just have that there and eliminate that, if people want snacks and different things like that, I have it. Now, I typically would go with something a little bit nicer, like some bamboo plates or things like that, things that I can rinse off and easily recycle. That is the environmental engineer in me, blame it there, right? So I'm still not a big fan of like styrofoam or things like that. I want things that I can recycle. But I love a disposable something before and after an entertaining event, right? It just makes my life so much easier. And so again, I'll link to some of those if they have them online. Now, this is something that's just a part of my regular repertoire, but this may be something you want to consider, is hiring a housekeeper to come before and after. Okay. So if you are having guests in town, if you are having people stay at your home, just hire somebody to clean the house. That's one less thing that you have to do. It's a great investment. Have them do a deep clean, all of that. Wonderful. And then when people leave, okay, you got sheets and towels and, just people and more humans in your house than normal. Hire somebody to come maybe a couple of days after. Yes. Is it an indulgence? It is. Is it a splurge? It depends on what you consider a splurge. I consider it an investment into your mental well-being and into your self-care, right? Because you love having people over, you love having them stay, you want the house to be clean and wonderful, and like that level of clean that only a professional cleaning company can do. But then if you're anything like me, because I'm very introverted, when people leave, I kind of just want to like enjoy my house to myself again, or to you and your family. But there's been several people there. And so again, bringing somebody in to clean afterwards, like after the final guest is going to leave, and have them kind of reset your house. Listen, treat yourself, okay? Make it a non-negotiable. I also want to say that I love to stock up on unscented candles for the actual hosting event. But then I also like to have scented candles in every single bathroom. Every single bathroom. I need to stock up because I'm burning them nonstop, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care if people are just going in there to wash their hands or do whatever they need to do. Having extra humans over is a whole thing. Everybody's not going to use the fan. Listen, I'm trying to keep it like not gross over here. Have scented candles burning in every single bathroom in your home when you're hosting. I like to put a little potpourri in there, the little spray, just in case people want to use it, right? Just a little something, not anything crazy. I like to have disposable hand towels in all of the bathrooms, preferably something that matches my holiday, color palette. I like to have that in bulk and in excess. That way people aren't like, oh my gosh, where are the paper towels? There are plenty of hand towels around for people to use. Okay. Then also I like to have my playlist. Now, depending on the holiday, I will have different music. But then I also kind of like to have music going in the background while I'm cooking, or something low in the background while people are over, unless your family is more like of a sports family. You know what kind of ambiance you want to set. I know I'm a music person. That's what I like to have going on in the background with my decor. I'm setting a vibe. Okay, I'm creating a scene. I'm setting the backdrop for a memory. And that brings me to my last point, is think about how you want to capture the memory. I would encourage you not to post in real time. I know we get excited, we want to post our holiday plates on social media, whatever, but I would encourage you to capture the people you're with versus the plate that you're going to eat from, and make that intentional. Right. Some families are really good at that. Some friend groups are really good at that. But, before, people get to moving around and people are getting ready to go and people have stuffed themselves and, they look like they've overeaten. Think about how you want to capture the memories. Is it video? Is it a couple pictures? Do you want some candies? Maybe you can assign somebody in your family to be their job, particularly if they can't cook. Okay. And you don't want them in the kitchen. Maybe their job is to spend the weekend or the event capturing memories, taking candid photos, getting people together to take pictures, videoing people, right? So that you can have memories, and then ask yourself, what do you want to do with those memories later? Do you want to put it in a little, New Year's card and send it out to everybody who was there? Do you want to put it in a scrapbook? Do you want to create a vlog that lives privately on, for you to view in the future? Just think about how you want to capture the memory, because that is the whole goal of entertaining. That is the whole goal of hosting, is bringing people together over food to make memories. And so, I really would encourage you to be intentional about that, and make sure that as the host, you are also in those memories. You are also in those pictures. You are also in those videos. So listen, I hope this episode gave you a couple little nuggets, a couple little practical things that you could do if you are hosting over the holidays. Let me know. I believe you can now comment on my podcast. Let me know, are there things that you do, some hosting tips that you can share with others who might be listening, or you can tag me on Instagram at Chef Evelyn. I would love to know what are some things that you like to do during the holidays to make hosting the most fun and enjoyable it can be. And I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, head on over to chefevelyn.com and join the Inside Dish. That's the place where you and I can stay connected, and where I can send you culinary inspiration, occasional recipes, and some food for thought. And if you're curious about what I'm cooking in between episodes, then follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for some more delicious behind the scenes. Don't forget to jump on over to iTunes and leave a review. And remember, it's absolutely okay to enjoy some gourmet every day. I'll see you next time.